are driven by the finer things. I see more than materials and wealth. What have you got to give to me? What I don't already give myself. You are driven by the... Hello, welcome to a brand new episode of Illuminated Disclaimer. My name is Sydney as usual, and as always I hope you're finding beautiful new ways to find illumination in your path. Now today I wanted to talk about something which can be not only highly effective for you, but it could be highly effective to your family and your friends and your social settings and beyond. And that is just basically finding new ways how you can manage your stress and anxiety by having some more self-care techniques implemented in your everyday life. Now, I will say now that I use some of these techniques myself, and these techniques have been very, very pivotal in my progression. So I'm going to go through them all briefly. I'm going to give a brief explanation about how we can do it and how I've used it in the past. So in the meantime, please like and subscribe and share to anybody who you feel would be beneficial hearing this advice. And if you do want me to write more content like this in the future, please just write a comment down below and just let me know what I can do to not only improve my channel but to help you as an individual too. So the first one is staying active. Now, with the emergence of people working from home, it's getting more and more difficult on a day-to-day basis for people to go out or to be even inspired to go out. Now, I guess probably 5-10 years ago, most of us probably had to leave the house in order to do, work or travel to do specific things like go shopping, for example. But since the lockdown and COVID-19 has emerged into our lives, we were given a lot of technology which helped us stay at home, whether that's online deliveries, whether it's more importance of Amazon, and now there's so many jobs where it's just remote. A lot of us don't really need to leave the house at all. Think about it, like feasibly speaking, I can buy everything I want online and get it delivered to my front door. I could work and get paid for that. And if I wanted to travel, I could just buy a Meta headset or Oculus, as a lot of you probably know it as. I could just put all of these together and not leave the house for any reason, and that's damaging. We come from eons of being active and going out, and now seemingly overnight in the wide scale of things, a lot of people are just not doing what their ancestors did, so they are going into a lot of pain. And for a lot of us, that could be a lot of friction in our bodies. Sometimes we have to move our bodies because we have a lot of pent-up resentment or anger. We need to move. So being active can be something that's very important for all of our lives. For example, just going for a walk, running, dancing to yourself. You could do all these things, stretching, yoga. There's so many things that you can do inside your house to make sure that your body can move around, become fluid, and then nothing's pent up. And you'll realize that if you do half an hour of dancing and singing, you feel so much better. Number 2, try to be zen. Now, if you know me as a person, I'm a very zen individual, and I cultivate that to the reason I look so young right now. So zen could be loads of different things. Being non-judgmental, for example. If someone tells you something, understanding why they said it instead of getting offended by it. So by extension, responding and not reacting. You could also make sure that you are consuming the right things and less of the wrong things. And I'll talk about this later, of course. And we'll be talking about, the critical things, the critical aspects in our lives. Like, why does this get me angry? What is the point of this that I'm looking at? And once you do that, you start to realize that sometimes you listen to music and it says bad words. Sometimes you listen to articles and you feel powerless and that incites rage. Sometimes you read something sent to divide the masses and you are realizing you're on one side. By becoming more of a pacifist and just realizing that there are two sides, but fighting along one side might be futile, you start to realize that you are outside of the sphere. You can see everything that's going on, and for me at least, I found peace in that. Number 3, chat with your friends, your social settings. Now,
I'm aware that some people might not have friends like that, but you can go to forums, you can go on Facebook posts, you can actually speak to a lot of people who might be in the same situation as you. For example, a year ago, I started going to the poetry scene. I didn't know a single person who did poetry, but I wanted to get uncomfortable and I wanted to meet new people. So I started going to poetry events, I started networking, and before you know it, I had a handful of friends I could speak to about specific subjects. So it's about you trying to find ways to be more, you know, of an extrovert in order to meet people who are in the same boat as you, which will cultivate a lifelong friendship. One of my closest friends I met at the age of 27. You know, like I've spoken to a lot of people who met their best friends half of that age. So it's no one size fit all, it's no sprint. Just keep on going out there and keep on meeting people in different various ways until you found someone who you can tell whatever you can to, basically. Next one is, cook more within. And by within, I mean within your house, not within your mind. Make more food. Look at cookbooks. Become more self sufficient. Like there's nothing more therapeutic to me than actually cooking food. Recording the processes, making a video of it, and saying, it's good, but it needs this, and that for next time, and improving on your recipe. Cooking is just one of those things where you can think about the world and you can compare it to your cooking, and you just realize that there's a lot of calmness that comes to putting things together and exploring yourself through creativity. And in this case, it will be through cooking. Next one is take a break from the news and media. Sometimes I just have tech-free days. I'm just like, I'm not gonna go on any social media whatsoever, and I'm really grateful for that. I could actually say that 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago actually, my phone broke, and sent it to the store. They said it would be a month until I receive it back. Now I was like, what am I gonna do without a phone for a month? Turned out to be one of the best months I've had because I became super present, super aware, and I could focus on what I was dealing with. One thing about social media, we can compare ourselves to other people and not see entirely how it can be destructive to us in the long term. But once you don't have that, well, for me at least, I felt that I could just openly confront the things that I was holding back and not taking care of whilst I had a phone. Otherwise, I would have just been bored. It was in my best interest to actually find out what I needed and what I needed to get closure for. So I'm grateful that I did that, and I would suggest that you have 1 or 2 days a week where you at least have limited access, maybe go on an hour, 2 hour max, but just reduce some of the technology, especially when you go to bed, and you see really good uptakes in your mental health and well-being. Also, declutter. A lot of us, we live in a world where, I say a lot of us live in a world, all of us live in a world where there's vast consumerism going on. And this is spurred on by the fact that there's so many people wearing these clothes and having these fragrances and driving these cars, and we feel like our inner personal success is determined by what items we have, and it should be far from the truth. Now, as a result, a lot of us are hoarders because we have items from 10 years ago that we may wear. Not definitely wear, but may wear. Oh, this looks good, I won't wear it. Now, if you go into your house feels less of a creative space because it's just too much visual stimuli around. Now, what I've learned is I needed to reduce what I needed to see in my house in order to make the most out of the creativity that was inside of me. And I basically got rid of 2/3 of everything that I owned. And to be honest with you, like at this current moment of time, I can get rid of some more things. And as a result, the construction that's going on in my mind and the creativity that's come, I can now look at my place where I am right now and actually work hard because there's just not a lot of things to look at. And one thing that helped me is whenever I buy a new coat, I give a coat to charity. Whenever I buy trousers, I give to charity. So now I've got a system where it's about giving and receiving. If I receive something for myself, I shall give something away so I don't add to the clutter. And I suggest you try that too. Next one is watch or read something uplifting. Now, for me, YouTube videos, I listen to a lot of audiobooks. I realize I want to be this person, but I can't be this person if I'm reading things that make me feel this way. So I look at people and I aspire up to the people who I want to be like in my own right. People who have this confidence, people who have this wealth, people who don't really care if they have a bad day but learn from it. These are the people who I'm trying to emulate. And if I look at somebody who doesn't know what they want in their life, then I risk becoming that person through subconscious programming. So, who are you looking up to? Who are you inspired by? Who do you want to be? What kind of money do you want? And who kind of has that money? If you look at all these people who are fast celebrities of millions and you say, oh, they're doing bad for the world, they program everybody, they own the news, they own the media corporations, that's fair enough. But look at what you're saying. You're saying negative things and you're going to consume and absorb that. Eventually, you're going to have a mindset without even knowing it that money is bad because the people at the top have this money, but they're also doing these bad things. I've done a video called See Everybody as an Ideal. And the best thing to do is to see what these people are doing, but find a world where you can be a philanthropist and help other people and cultivate your own happiness through doing what you want to do, but making sure that you appreciate money and you appreciate that some of these people who are vastly, millionaires, that they're actually doing good for the benefit of humanity. And that's what we need to do. We need to make sure that we have more positive results. And how do we do that? More positive thoughts. Next one is protect your energy. Now, there is a lot of people out here who are trying to take energy. And I like to give without receiving back. But some people, you can tell they'll always want to take from you and will even offer to give something back. Now, these people might be seen as people who take your energy. And you need to go through a self journey to find out who these people are. Now, it's difficult at first because they might be family, they might be really close friends, but you need to see what you put into the relationship and what you receive out of the relationship to see if there's a balance. Now, I'm about perfect balance, and I know perfect balance does not exist because sometimes someone might give more, someone might give less. But see what you're getting from a relationship or friendship or whatever. See what you're getting out of it and actually balance to see if it is worth it. If you're meeting someone, for example, and you feel like you don't want to meet this person, then could you call that a friendship? If you meet this person and literally you feel like your tail's wagging, is that a good friendship? So just try to make mental stock and even write it down if you want. I'm a huge proponent of journaling, of what you truly want in your life. Just have a thought about who you want in your life and who you want to be in your life, and see if everything that's currently going on aligns with that. And the last one for today's episode is adjust your social media feed. Now, there was a few years ago where my social media feed had music videos and it had rappers and it had thirst traps. If you know what thirst traps are, Google thirst traps. And what I realized was I was consuming this, and before I wanted to be someone who I thought was quite destructive. Whether I was hurting people around me, whether I wanted to be this person, whether I was saying derogatory things to people, whether I was disrespecting myself, or whether I was just down in alcohol just because, these people who I was looking up to was doing it. Now, fast forward to today, and I've got a lot of self-love quotes. I have a lot of inspirational quotes, a lot of spirituality, a lot of things that can help me benefit not only me but humankind. So whenever I go on Instagram, I look at a few stories, I like a few comments, then I go straight to the For You section of my Instagram and I just look at positive things. And if you follow me on Instagram, usually if you look at my stories, sometimes I've got just quotes, quotes that I look at and just say, oh, that's inspired me today. Let me just share it with the world. So be very aware that on your For You page is catered for you. That's why it's called For You page. And what you look at determines what's in the For You page. So if you don't look at anything and you know it's not going to benefit you, then reduce it. You can actually click an option and say, look, reduce posts like this. Remember, these things, if they are offensive in the real world, then they'll be offensive to you. And if you stare at these things all day, you will become it. So that has been today's episode. If you want me to do more videos like this, please let me know. Please write in the comment section. If you like this video as well, please give a like. And also, I've got some videos over there as well, to the left of this video. And if you like this video, please, I've got dozens more that you can watch too. But until the next episode, thank you so much for watching, listening, and taking notes. And we'll speak for the next one. But until the next one, please find more ways to illuminate your life.